All right, so I want to talk about a couple ways to get an image in here. And there's some really good ways and there's some really bad ways. Since we don't really have an actual orthogonal view of our dumpster, we've just got photos we took outside. I'm just going to use the reference as exactly that, just as reference, and just kind of eyeball everything into it. So I've downloaded an image somewhere. Oh, I put it in my document. So I've got my image here. There's dumpster. And we're going to use this as our basic reference. And I can always have it floating. Having two monitors, I can slide it over, and that's great. But if I also have work on a small laptop, and I need an image in the actual software to make things work better. So the easiest way to do that that I found is called Spotlight. And Spotlight is in the texture tool, and it comes up right here where it says import. This is your texture library. We can put different things in here, skybox, paint and texture. We can do a color 4D, all kinds of stuff. Hit import, and we're going to go into the folder, and that is dumpster. I'm going to grab that image and throw it in here. So now it's in my library. So here's the thing about Mac ZBrush that kind of gets annoying. It's like the image, I'm working in that menu, and it just closes on me, and that kind of frustrates. Well, we can update everything we want. So here's the actual, this is a side menu. It's just like this one right here. And if we got one open, we can drag any one of our pull downs into that space. So I grabbed this, open it up, and that little button right there has the arrow, it's just a pop up. Stick that and just throw that into here. And so now I've got a pop up over here. I can always close this and it'll go away, and I can continue doing whatever I'm doing. But click on this, and I can go here. I got the texture now. I make it active, and what we're going to do is turn the spotlight on. This is a lot like the, we're going to add the spotlight. There we go. We got to add the spotlight, which is that button, and then it turns on and off. And now this is a lot like the tools in Substance, where we're painting the image actually on the actual object. I can't think of the word. But what we want to do here, if I hit Z, I get this little spinner here. If I've got my mouse on this here, I can move the image any way I want as long as that spinner is here. If not, I'm actually working in the 3D space. So have Z, which is the tool. If you want the image to go away, Shift Z will hide it. So Z will pull this up, and I can scale this up. Right here is this radial menu has all these awesome issues. It's your weapon wheel, right? Now if I look over here where it says Spotlight button, Paint, I got Scale, Pin Spotlight, and I've also got like there's a opacity, foreground opacity, and yeah, this one. So I turn this, just drop the spinner. It's actually, I think, affecting the object. There we go. So do this one and then change this one, and the snapper will snap back. So there I can kind of play around with those two different opacities and kind of get where my object's not hidden by the actual image, where I can see it. So I'm going to scale this up, and all I'll do is I'll just throw this up to the size, probably a little too. Let's get the more opacity there, and I'm just gonna have it out of the way. I don't like having a full saturated image because it kind of distracts me, and with my ADD, I don't need more distractions. But anyway, I kind of have that there. Now I hit Z, and that image is locked there, and now I can work here in 3D space. All right. If we have a reference, we can use the Shift P, which is the floor menu right here. We can use an image here and create side panes and basically get a model built off an object. That's actually not too hard to set up. That's actually going to be in the draw mode. Like I said, the spotlight's my favorite, especially for this kind of reference image. But if I go to draw, I'm going to drop this menu down into here. The draw menu is where we have actual image planes, and we can go to the left and right. And if I go into map 1, it should allow me to pop up. I have the same image. We'll just use that for reference right now. So now my model is lined up. If this was a clean, straight on, left, right, top, whatever image, now this thing is straight on, and I can actually get it completely to measure based on what I want. There's a scale right here, offset, turning about where it sits on the X and Y plane of that wall. So you can get it sitting right on top of the floor and bring that model down to the floor and have it built at that 0, 0 coordinate set.
Sorry, which menu is that?
That is in the draw menu. So just kind of look at that, and that'll kind of help you out. Hit Shift P, and it's there. The thing about this that drives me crazy is that these don't always save with your tools. Like when you save your tool out, let's go ahead and here, save tool like I did last class. We'll name it something. Sweet. Accurate naming conventions are always awesome. And now I go in here, let's see, let's create this. It's in this actual scene, but if I go to document, and if I close ZBrush down, let's just do that. And then I open ZBrush back up. Basically, I just cleared out the cache, right? It has no cache.
It doesn't save it?
Mm-mm. I've not been able to save it. I've always had to rebuild it. There we go. There we go. Close that. Pop. I go in here and I load my tool. And I've actually tried to save documents and do all that stuff. But just not been successful with it. And I'm not sure why. Boop. Start there. Hit T. Oopsie, canceled. That's my image. So hit T. I'm in edit mode. Now I can actually look at it. Shift P. Gone.
Well, it's frustrating.
It is, but that's kind of one of the quirks. I go to texture, my texture is gone, so I gotta load it back in, which is why I like having the spotlight on. So use it there. That's why I like having the spotlight. So I can just shove that off to the side, and I can just get started with my model. But like with the gun, you're gonna want to work on having that. If you've got, you need a left and right top, you need as much proper concept art as you want, because that's where the accuracy is. That's where all the alignment's at, right? And if we're building something for games, accuracy is actually important, because we don't know scale. We have to go off the image, right? And that should have us the hot points where we can build things. We could also change it in 3ds Max once we've built it, right? We can use a FFD and kind of scale things up as we need to. But if we want to be accurate, it's best to have an image somewhere where we can rely on it. So those are the two ways that I use. And there's another way, and I'm going to test it out before I show you though.